We move now to Umkhonto Wesizwe, where Nhlamulo Ndlela is joining us as a representative of the party to give us some more insight. Sawubona, welcome. A delight to see you.
Good evening to the both of you, and good evening to your listeners.
Thank you for coming through. Really appreciate that.
Thank you for the invite.
In person, we haven't seen you in our studio. When are you coming through?
When am I getting the invite? I'd love.
Oh, you see how they turn these things around.
It's always.
I would really love to come through.
We appreciate you coming through. So, your overall reaction to how the day went?
Well, it's been a bittersweet moment for us, in anticipation of this day, waiting for this day to finally come. It's now here. There's a lot of anxiety naturally, but I think more than anything else, there's some teething issues this morning, system glitches and so on and so forth. Voting stations opening late, but we worked through it. We worked through that. Our party agents, some of them experienced, some of them not, but they're doing their best. Besides that, it's been a good day, a great voter turnout, I must say. Congratulations to South Africans. Also, I found myself at a Home Affairs today. Yeah. Saw huge, long queues, which is amazing. Yeah. But even more fascinating was to see youth. Yeah. In those queues. The majority of the people, they were youth. So
someone pointed out earlier on in the week, while they were doing special voting door to door in people's homes, that they were quite surprised to see your party agents being part of the group of people that were coming into people's homes, pointing to the fact that, goodness, you are a 6-month-old party and you've become so structurally organized. Quite impressive. How did you manage to do that? And this was, by the way, in Gauteng, not in KZN.
Thank you for highlighting that, because there's this misconception that we're just a KZN party, which is not true. Here's the reality. We're a party that is based on social and civil activism. And, in of that, this is a revolution that we're going through. And in every revolution, people organize themselves. And that's why there's this perception that, who's funding Umkhonto Wesizwe events? No, we're not funding them. We don't have money. You would have seen us, mentioned out of the millions that are coming from that very wealthy family. I won't mention their name, you know who. But it's people on the ground that are organizing themselves, that are taking the initiative to either cook, to, initiate programs and so on and so forth. So such is the case with people that want to see change. Such is the case with people that are patriotic South Africans, that are tired of the status quo, that are tired of the Cyril Ramaphosa-led government, which continues to bring about poverty. Did I say something?
No. I'm just getting ready for our next question, but go ahead.
It's a reality. It's a fact. Let's state the fact.
No. Completely.
This is the reality. So we have to be open about this and factual, because people are tired. I'm just reflecting and repeating what's being said on the ground. But having said that, the people on the ground are people that just want to see change. They've taken the initiative and they're doing their best.
So let's talk about the reality. Lots of people are saying, well, what is likely to happen is that political parties are going to have to talk to one another. Yes, everybody wants to win. No doubt about that. Everybody wants to get 50+1. But it's very likely that political parties are going to have to speak to one another. The president of MK Party has quite emphatically said he has not left the ANC, which then leads me to, and refers to the ANC as Cyril's ANC, which then leads me to the question, he obviously values the ANC's mandate, constitution, and all of that. He keeps saying that himself. It then means, should the need arise, this is the obvious party he'll align with, because everything, as he says, is aligned except for one man at the top.
Well, firstly, I think it's important to understand that President Zuma really became a member of the ANC. He never became a member of Cyril Ramaphosa's ANC. He became a member of the ANC. This is not the ANC he knows. And he stated that categorically by saying that he won't campaign nor vote for this ANC. Instead, vote for MK. But I think a bit of insight would be helpful here to the listeners. Remember, in 1960, when ANC was disbanded by the apartheid government, it was effectively straitjacketed. It couldn't contest elections, and so on and so forth. So how else were they going to win back the country? By way of the bullet, and hence Umkhonto Wesizwe, the military wing was formed. Today, what is happening is synonymous with exactly that. We're saying that this ANC has been bought because we know there were billions of rand that went into CR17 campaign. The mere fact that there's been such resounding silence in terms of the implementation of policies that were handed down, is a clear confirmation that this ANC is bought and therefore its leaders. Unfortunately, that is the case. So this ANC is also straitjacketed. It will not be a solution nor a catalyst to emancipate, to liberate the black child. So what do you then do? You form Umkhonto weSizwe, which becomes a solution to win back the country by way of the ballot. And this is exactly what's happening here. So if you go back then, members of Umkhonto weSizwe were also members of the ANC. It's a fact.
Of course.
So
But as I said, let's work together here on scenarios, right? So I'm not saying MK party or the ANC is not going to win, but I'm saying in the scenario that political parties, whoever have to talk, would then the issue only be Cyril Ramaphosa, in which case he may be the deal breaker, not necessarily that the ANC that Jacob Zuma joined is the problem.
We're focused on our own household right now. We're focused on winning the elections.
You are politicians, you are savvy, you are strategists. I am absolutely sure you're talking behind the scenes.
No, we've had conversations not with the ANC, with many other united,
fair enough.
Patriotic. Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise responding to that now would be, responding in hypothetical terms. But let me put it this way.
So you're not talking at the moment to the ANC?
Let me put it this way.
Yeah?
Too soon to respond is what I'm hearing.
Effectively, right? So what we're saying is we're focused first and foremost on winning these elections.
Sure.
Okay? If the scenario draws to what you've now unpacked, then at that point in time we'll identify like-minded, progressive, patriotic parties that we can form a united front with.
Got you.
That's that. There's nothing
And
more.
according to Jacob Zuma, the only political party that aligns with his values is the ANC. So we'll wait and see.
No, you put words in my president's
No. He said he remains an ANC member because
Yes.
the ANC
Has got a rich history.
and he joined the ANC for specific policies and its constitution. And
Yes.
so he does make the point
Yes.
that at his heart and at his core,
Yes.
he is still an ANC member, except
Yes.
that he's unhappy with the current leadership.
No,
so
but he also
the
does-
issue here is the current leadership.
Correct, but remember he also does highlight
Yes.
that he finds it strange that they want to suspend or expel him for voting and campaigning for Umkhonto
Absolutely.
weSizwe.
Yeah.
Look at what happened in 2016 Metsi Maholo.
Yeah.
SACP contested elections in local government against the ANC. There was no suspensions, no expulsions. Wait, let me finish off on the other point. Let me give you another example. In Parliament, the ANC went and voted with the DA against President Zuma to exit him. So what's wrong with President Zuma voting for Umkhonto weSizwe as a member when they could go and vote with the enemy?
And so to
I
be
hear you.
consistent with
Naturally.
that, to be consistent with your point, it brings us to the same point. All he wants is for the ANC to align itself with the constitution that it already has in place, that he's questioning they are not aligning with. And if they can get their house in order, he remains an ANC member.
President Zuma will die an ANC member. He mentioned that.
That's my point.
But the reality is there are a lot of other ANC members that are going to be voting for Umkhonto weSizwe, whether they like it
He'll
or
take
not.
them with.
It's the reality. But what we're saying here is Umkhonto weSizwe is a party of its own. Umkhonto weSizwe is here to emancipate and liberate our people because this ANC, as it is, in its current form, will not do that.
Yeah.
You refer to the policies. They're not implemented any of the policies. Not even one capital infrastructure project to date. So the reality is we are saying civil society, patriotic South Africans, here is a solution for yourselves. If you want to see change, an organic change, vote for Umkhonto weSizwe. And with President Zuma's wisdom, we're going to do so, and we're going to do extremely well.
The change is new, the change is fresh, as you've said, less than 6 months or about 6 months old for the organization. I know a lot of people who might have changed their minds at the ballot box and might have actually explored options like the MK earlier today. I'm keen to understand, number one, reflections of the voter experience that you've understood so far of some of your partners and peers across the continent, but more so, as Phemelo has alluded to, the MK gaining any potential seats in Parliament or winning these elections, there will be some kind of partnership that will be forged. What will that look like and how will it be different? Because you're consistently talking about an alternative to the status quo. What is that experience like?
So, look, naturally you go into any election with the intention of winning. And that's what we wanted. So we've been referring to a two-third majority, because that's what we would like to see. Why? Because we feel that, this constitution needs to change. This constitution is based on Roman Dutch law. But getting back to your issue around what you're effectively referring to as coalitions, We can't talk coalitions right now, right? And I'll go back to that same point. Because what kind of a coalition are we talking about? On the basis of what? What we're focused on is winning the election. If such a scenario comes to play, then that's a completely different discussion. And again, we'll identify progressive parties, like-minded, that want to see change and are aligned to what we want to achieve. That's it.
As things stand, does this look like a fair election? Does it look like the IEC has run everything according to plan?
Look, the IEC's conduct to date, and looking at the sequence of events, has been questionable on many fronts, and I think we've made that very clear. However, we need to respect their process. South Africans are woke. South Africans know what's going on. South Africans see for themselves. We've had a lot of South Africans engage us, raising concerns. But there's so much we can do. The mere fact that certain individuals are using state infrastructure to politic in of itself right in the midst of an election, whilst our president's interview is being embargoed. I mean, what does that mean? So we need to raise issues around censorship and so on and so forth, which is, again...
Why don't you take that up?
Well, we are taking it up. The question is why are we even having this in this day and age in the first place? We wanted to actually go live on that interview, and whilst we're in Nkandla, did it happen? No. Instead, we were told, don't worry, we'll do a pre-recording and we'll play it on a Sunday. Come Sunday, guess what?
So are you going to take this to the BCCSA?
What we're saying is there's just so many things. The ANC has brought a lot of cases against us. As you would know, we wouldn't be here in terms of our registration, our emblem being questioned, trademark. We're not trading with this logo or this emblem. We're a political party. But in any case, such is the case, with adversaries when they realize that indeed you're a threat. And we're a threat. It's come to play. It's demonstrative in terms of the numbers that you've seen. And we're saying this is a spiritual process, and no individual or individuals are going to disturb the outcome of inevitability, which is Mkhonto we Sizwe winning these elections.
Are you going to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission?
Well, we've taken advice from our lawyers, and we continue to seek advice from them. And based on the legal opinion that they give us, we will then act upon it.
Nhlanhla Ndlela, thank you so much, the MK Party spokesperson. Appreciate your time. We'll be seeing on your floor. And obviously, as the results trickle in, we'll like to get your reaction. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. I'll be here.